for me, I knew coming out, like me actually coming out was going to be coming out to my parents.
What it meant.
Right.
That moment.
That moment was going to be when I came out to my parents. So I'm going to take a deep dive.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
Take a deep breath first is probably what you need to do.
I'm nervous, but it's also just because I want to make sure I tell it in a way that's impactful, in the sense of like knowing somebody else may be going through something that's similar. And I also want them to see where the finish line is.
Right.
Like what happened during the race.
Right.
And then where I am now.
Right.
So yeah, I came out as a late bloomer. I don't know if it's late.
How old were you?
20.
No, I was 22.
Okay, so you were late.
No, I was 23 when I came out to my parents.
Girl, you were geriatric.
Yeah. Yep.
I came out, I was in college already at this point, but I came out to my parents. I remember, so I had already had a boyfriend, mind you, for I think at 6 months at this point. And I knew I wasn't being authentic. Yeah. Authentically myself with him, because I still had this like heavy burden on my shoulder of like, I need to tell my parents. Yeah. Like I am not out in my own mind because I hadn't told them. Yeah. And so that was really where I was like, I need to tell them. I didn't know when was the right time, if there ever is a right time. Right. That's a different story. Yeah. Or that's another podcast. But yeah. So I remember I was in the band at UT, and I was getting, they were always supportive, and they would always come to the games just to see me, or see the game obviously, but like also like I was there. So they were like, we're going to go. So they came up one Saturday, and I was like, okay, this is the day. Like, like take a deep breath, Jake. You're going to do it. Like they're going to come, they came to my apartment, and I was getting ready. Like I was getting into uniform. Yeah. And I remember I was like, okay, like I need to like, this is the moment. Like I want to tell them so bad. Like I just want to get it off.
In your cowboy hat?
Bolo.
In your full UT uniform? You're like,
Bolo all tied
you should be learning Grandioso even better than you did before. And instead.
High knees. And yeah, I think I was like getting ready, like full uniform. Yeah. And I was like, okay, before I leave to go to the game, and before we go our separate ways for the game, I remember I was like, okay, I need y'all to sit down. I need to tell y'all something. It's really important. And so they sat down. I wanted to tell them together. Like I didn't want to be like, I'm going to tell you first, and then I'm going to tell you next. Like, no, we're going to do it all together, just because my anxiety can't handle that shit. Yep. So I sat them down, and I came out to them, but I came out as bi. And it was, I feel like right now looking back, I'm like, why'd I do that? But I think it kind of lessened or softened the blow. Yeah. For me also, because I was nervous what their reaction was. Yeah. And I was really nervous for my dad, because I grew up in the church with him, because like he would go to church every Sunday. Yeah. I was super nervous about that. But my mom, I was like, she's a wild card. Yeah. But so I came to them, and I remember my mom, she was like, she seemed kind of okay. Like, kind of like, okay, like, yeah, I knew. And I'm like, cool. Yeah. Like, I'll take it.
Then we're fine. Yeah.
We're good. And I remember my dad was kind of like, okay, like not like passive, but like an acceptance. Like, right. Okay. Like
it did it for you. It was enough at that point.
Yes. And I remember like that, because of my dad, I think like it was so much easier. Like after that, like I really was able to take a breath and be like, okay, like I can let it out. Yeah. It wasn't until after where things kind of started getting rocky. And it wasn't with my dad. It was with my mom.
Oh, wow.
And
that's so interesting, really quick, if I can, just because all the friends that I have, and a lot of Latinos, you would assume because of the machismo culture that like dads take it harder. Right. Moms, and you'll hear my story in just a second, moms always take it harder usually.
It is wild. Yeah. Because like also, and not saying anything, like there has to be a relation between like church and the way you accept things. Right. But, or the way you accept someone being gay. But like the fact that like my dad was able to get past it so easy and be like, you're my son. Yeah. I love you. Like, wow. Yeah. You know, and like I needed that for sure to help me get through with what my mom and I went through, because we did go through it together. And so like afterwards, I remember her, you know, texting me, and she was upset, and she wrote that she was upset with what was happening. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, literally like in text, like I'm upset with the situation. in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And I remember not knowing what to say to that. Like,
what do I say to that?
What do I say to that?
Let me ask my mom.
Exactly. I'm like, I go to you for everything, like for advice.
Yeah.
And now that my mom is the one telling me this, I was like, oh my God, like what do I
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, what do I do? And I was going to the outlets at this point too. Like it was that next day.
Yeah.
And I was going to the outlets with my friends, and then she texts me. And
she interrupted my shopping date.
Right. My shopping spree. My
on her credit card.
I was an independent woman.
Yeah.
At this point. No, but she definitely threw me a curveball, and it lasted for a while. Oh, we kind of didn't talk.
Yeah.
Like we had talked all the time.
Yeah.
Mind, because I was in Austin, they were here in San Antonio, and it wasn't until I came out in like I think it was September, and then like December we went to New York. And at during that time period, we didn't really necessarily talk. We had already had this planned trip, so we're like, well, here we go to New York. It's just us two.
Yeah.
And I will never forget there was a pivotal moment in this whole coming out story when I was like with my mom in New York. And I was like, this is my chance to kind of get some answers. Like, what happened? Like, what do you need?
What do you mean what happened?
Like, right. Like, what do you need from me to be like accepting me or to just be myself? And I remember asking her, we were in the middle of a restaurant in New York, mind you, New York. Everybody's on top of each other.
Little bitty ass restaurants.
Right.
Like this.
The little tables like this, enough for my knee, my big old calves.
Right.
And then like my mom's is sitting across, and then like 2 inches later is
another person,
another table.
Right.
And so I'm like, all right, well, like we're at dinner, and I'm like, I'm asking her like, what happens when I have a boyfriend? Again, I had not even mentioned I had a boyfriend at this point.
But at that time you already knew. And so in your mind, you were visualizing not just an imaginary boyfriend, but your actual boyfriend that you were in a relationship with.
Right.
Wow.
Who is like now my husband.
Right.
And I'm envisioning like bringing him to the family, and like, this is who my partner is. And I will never forget, she said, like, just don't come home if you have a boyfriend. And I was just like heartbroken. And I remember like starting to cry, and I remember going to the restroom, and I was crying in the restroom.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I want to go home. Like I wanted to go back to the hotel. Like I contemplated just like walking out, but I was like, I can't do that to my mom. Like she doesn't know the subway the way I knew it. So I'm like, okay, like let me take this in. Let me like dive into it. And eventually we went home, and you know, all that happened. But it wasn't until another 3 months later when I finally was having a very hard day. And my boyfriend at the time, we were going through some like trials and tribulations, and
what
like
couples go through. Right.
And of course at 20 years old, however old I was, it's the end of the world at that point. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm having like a hard week, and I'm in Austin, and I'm crying. I'm calling my mom, and like, I think we're going to break up and all this stuff. And she's like, at first I told her, I was like, okay, so I have a boyfriend. I've had him. He's been my boyfriend for like a year at this point.
Right.
And that moment was so pivotal because she came to Austin to comfort me.
Yeah, she turned into mom.
Yes.
They can try to ignore it, but they turn into mom really quick.
Like mama bear. And I was like, I needed this.
Right.
Like I really needed this.